This is the spectacular story of Captain Julian Vance, a young man no one believed in, who shaped his own destiny, defying impossible circumstances to forge the most feared crew the ocean had ever seen. The story so far: Captain Julian Vance trained his inexperienced crew into elite pirates. The pirates acquired a powerful ship. Julian raided the naval armory to secure heavy ammunition. Julian now targets a Royal Naval vessel. He steers the pirate ship toward the naval port. The Royal Naval vessel rests there under heavy guard. The pirate ship entered the harbor. A thick, unnatural fog followed the vessel. Corin the cook created the fog. Corin burned damp sulfur and wet wood on small wooden rafts. The crew tied the rafts to the pirate ship. Navy cannons fired blindly at the glowing rafts. The cannons scattered the burning sulfur, making the fog worse. The thick fog hid the pirates from the lookout posts. The pirates made their way ashore towards the fortress. The pirates jammed stolen musket barrels into rock cracks. These metal muskets served as steps. The pirates climbed the fortress wall. As the pirates entered the fortress, they found the guards asleep. Earlier, Alara had visited the fortress as a merchant. The navigator replaced the lantern oil with sleeping plant extracts. The strike team moved silently toward the central vault. They entered the stone room. Suddenly, the heavy iron doors slammed shut behind the team with a loud crash. Admiral Blackwood and 100 armed Marines stood in the shadows. He signaled the Marines to aim weapons at the pirates. Finn stood beside the Admiral, looking at the floor in shame because of his betrayal. Admiral Blackwood smirked. He signaled his Marines to aim their weapons at the trapped pirates. The Admiral always knew that Julian would attempt to rescue Finn, and he could trap him here. Admiral Blackwood held up the captured pirate flag. The Admiral's naval fleet had seized the ship in the harbor. The trap was complete. Julian appeared to have lost his ship, his freedom, and his life. Julian did not show fear. He smiled at the heavy iron shackles. Blackwood's men locked the iron shackles onto the pirates' wrists. These were the same Royal Navy locks that Julian had trained his crew to pick. Just then, a massive explosion rocked the island. Dust fell from the ceiling. Julian's ship had exploded in a giant fireball. Julian had ordered Corin to pack the lower decks of the pirate ship with gunpowder. The ship became a floating bomb. The explosion destroyed the naval blockade. A wave of fire trapped the remaining naval ships in the port. The shockwave violently shook the central vault. The surprised Marines dropped their weapons in terror. Julian and his men slipped their hands out of the locked shackles in perfect unison. Kalen lunged forward. He ignored the soldiers. Kalen grabbed a wall torch. He threw the torch into a pile of sulfur dust. Julian had secretly placed the sulfur on the floor. A blinding white flash filled the vault. The Marines could not see. Chaos erupted in the room. The pirates used wrestling moves to disarm the blinded guards. They did not kill any soldiers. The smoke cleared. Admiral Blackwood stood alone. Kalen pressed a heavy blade against the back of Admiral Blackwood. Julian always knew Finn would break under pressure. He had intentionally let the boy be captured to lure the army into the vault to steal the ammunition that day. Julian used Admiral Blackwood as a human shield. Julian and his men left the vault. They walked toward the private naval docks. The target was not the fortress treasury. Julian wanted Blackwood's pristine, majestic, and heavily armed ship. The ship also held significant gold reserves. Julian's pirates boarded the flagship unopposed. They seized the fastest ship in the royal fleet. Julian left the angry admiral on the burning docks and boarded the ship. Julian's trick worked perfectly. Admiral Blackwood believed Finn was Julian's secret agent. The admiral turned all his fury toward Finn. The stolen flagship sailed away from the burning harbor. Julian Vance stood at the helm of the stolen flagship. He was no longer an underdog. The world now feared the pirate. News of the brilliance of Julian Vance spread across the seas. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next quest. A like and a subscribe will help us stay connected with you. Also be a great source of encouragement for our team.